Okay, here we go on a walk into the backyard on our rainy time of the year. This might be the biggest pond I've seen on this property in the 11 and a half years we've been here. And here we have the old garage, which we call the shop. And you can see there's water all the way around the edge here. I don't think I've seen that before. And our big willow tree is still got leaves on it, but most of them have fallen now, so it makes this beautiful carpet of leaves that are going into their yellowing and their decomposing stage. Here I'm going to turn back towards the shop. There's that standing water around the base, and it's even up now over the lowest shakes at the bottom edge. Yeah, that's, I think, the deepest it's ever been. I'll look inside later and see if it's gotten into the floor inside. We call this the lean-to on the end of the shed. And then you can see there's standing water there too. So now we're getting to where the pond is actually starting, meaning even under the leaves there's already an inch, couple inches of water. Now I'm going towards the middle of the pond at the base of the willow tree. And you can see that it's up to my ankles, a few inches. Right here in the middle there's actually a drain, a homemade drain there that connects to a pipe that goes out to the city drain system. It's basically a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket with rocks on the bottom connected to a pipe that then takes it out alongside the shop toward the house and to a French drain around the base of the house and then out to the city drain system. So this pond, once the rain stops, this pond will gradually decrease probably over the course of a few days. It usually doesn't stay very long. Here you can see that the pond, as this is again a sign of how big it is, how much water we have. Is we have this old chicken yard, and the water rarely comes over this far. So this is the furthest it's come, so it's even inside the chicken yard. Now we're going to go back further into the property. There is a little bit of an upward slant to the land. I'm going to go over here to the west side of our lot to where the swale, we have a swale system, and this is the end of the swale. So the swale is a ditch that snakes through the property. You can just barely see that there's water here overflowing the swale. So I'm coming up here to where the one side of the swale is. So here it's basically a big ditch with the berm going up one side over here to the left. So it's a nice big mounding. And that contains the water and helps it snake through the property. And then gradually it overflows, goes down, and then becomes the pond. But this way we're slowing the flow of the water through the landscape and allowing it to sink deeper, holding nutrients in the land, in the soil. So I'm going to follow this swale now because we have another arm of the swale ditch. So now I'm walking east to the east side of the property, following the swale. I'm guessing that's about a foot at least deep. And here's the berm where we have some blueberries planted on the top of the berm. Now we're getting over to the east side of the property, and we have another overflow ditch that, if I turn south, you can just barely see it here. There's not a lot of water, but there is a little trickle of water coming down from the other swale, which is right up this way. I'm actually going south now toward the south edge of the property. It's quite a bit more property back there going to that chain link fence. But here we have another ditch of the swale, and it turns here and goes back toward the west side. So the two big ditches are parallel to each other with some nice gardening soil in between. So that black tarp, this area here is probably the best area to garden because it gets the most sunshine, and it has a swale on each side with berms. And previously, before we put the swales in, this area here would get very swampy, and it is pretty wet right now anyway. But in the spring and the summer, it's really a great place to grow sun-loving crops. And I'll just take a step down into this. Hopefully it won't go up over my boots. Boot top. Oh yeah, that's a good 6-8 inches deep. I think my boots have holes because I'm getting water in there. Anyway, so there you go. There's our swale system on our rainiest time of the year, November 27th or 28th. And great to have the water, great for the nutrients in the soil being distributed, and great for purifying the air. Here's looking back toward the house, which doesn't have any problems with water around it or under it. So we have a French drain around the house. Okay, there we go. Happy rain day.